Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone, or wherever you're tuning in from. Today is our next mindful momentum moment, and the topic is intention over intensity, or intention versus intensity. This is something that went live on my private podcast this morning for my Mindful Momentum box subscribers. They receive that twice a week to their podcast player. And that was the topic. And about how if you are feeling any type of feeling at the start of the year, people often say, like, let's start strong or finish strong. But in this case, it's January and everyone's all, revved up in the beginning of January in the new year for high energy and like, let's go. And like, sometimes that's amazing energy to be in, right? It's really exciting and motivating when your energy is high and the intensity is high. And then we get to January 21st today, where by now, a lot of people who set New Year's resolutions, they've dropped off. They've stopped doing them or fallen behind or gotten sidetracked or derailed. All the things we tell ourselves when the new habit resolution doesn't stick. So that's why I'm here, because it's not too late. You don't have to wait till next year or next January or even February 1st. A lot of the time, we wait for the start of the week, start of the month, the start of the year to start over, to start fresh. And I would invite you to instead just decide any time to do that. So maybe you started strong the first couple weeks of January or even the first week of January, and then you got sick or life threw you a curveball of some sort and things didn't go the way you thought they would. That's okay. Doesn't mean you can't begin today. Start over or just keep going. Sometimes even telling ourselves, I'll just start over, feels like a barrier. Starting can be a barrier. So, what I shared on my podcast today was about how just being intentional in a flexible, committed way can help you overcome these start and stops that we experience in life. A lot of business coaches and other coaches, life coaches, myself included, talk about consistency, that being consistent is the goal and that will guarantee success. So what does that mean for those of us who are moms, parents, caregivers, have chronic illness, migraines, whatever like other health conditions you might be facing, or maybe your children are facing them, or maybe it's just even just, regular parenthood, or, your spouse or partner, whatever it is. Like, what does that mean for those of us who can't be consistent? What does that mean? Does it mean we don't get a shot at success? No. I would invite you today to embrace a different word. If starting strong or being consistent or going all in isn't serving you, isn't working out the way that it works out for other people, that's okay. Today, you can make a choice to be intentional instead, to be committed instead. So for me, yeah, like I have big dreams and big goals this year, every year. And also, January doesn't always go the way I thought it would. I had a daughter who was homesick for a couple days, just finally went back to school today. I could name all the things that didn't go the way I thought they would. And what I have come to realize, this is always going to be the case. There are always going to be unexpected things. So I can get frustrated by that, and I do, and that's okay. It's not a problem to feel our feelings and be frustrated. And I also have tools that can help me continue to move forward toward my goals. And for me, and if you want to borrow this, I invite you to do so. For me, being intentional and mindful and aware of what is in my control is really, really helpful. And so instead of being consistent, I chose to be committed. And I would pause there because I was also thinking another approach you could take. One is just choosing your language, right? I realized that anytime someone told me I needed to be consistent, it felt like a barrier I couldn't overcome due to my children and their health needs. But leaning into the word committed really felt like it fit better in my life. I know what committed looks like. It means even when my kid is sick, I'm going to come back as soon as I'm able and take that next step in my business or toward my other goals. I know what commitment looks like. And I know that I can stand behind that and I can continue using that as a tool to help me move forward. Another approach one, is choose your language. Choose the words that resonate with you. Some people also choose a word of the year because it's something that feels like it will support them. So you can choose it for the whole year. You could choose it for your week. You could choose it for the month. You get to decide. But approach number 2 would be to redefine those words. Consistent or intensity or going all in or starting strong might mean something to another person, and it might have a slightly different meaning for you. And so it can be really helpful to just get clear on that. What does consistent mean to you? I often put a similar question in the beginning of the Mindful Momentum pages. This is February, so I'm not going to open it because I don't want to spoil our monthly theme. But let me grab my current January one. And I had a typo this month. But in this month's, I have the monthly theme, which was rooted in intention. So you can tell intentionality is on my mind because that's what I'm practicing along with my clients this month. But I asked them in the first block here, what does it mean to you to be rooted in intention? What does it mean? What it means to me might be different than what it means to my clients. And that's amazing. Like we're all unique individuals, and so it should mean something different. But get clear. What does it mean? Because we want to use this definition to fuel us, to move us forward in the way we want to move forward. And then below that, and you can see, I haven't finished my own journaling, but I think I'm going to do it right when I get off, is examples. List some examples of how you plan to be intentional and grounded this month. And so asking yourself a similar question. So if we're talking about the word consistent, and you want to be consistent, 1, define that. What does consistent mean to you? And then list those examples because that allows your brain to be intentional with how it looks for you. What will being consistent in your business look like? Some people might think that's showing up 5 days a week in your business. Some people may choose for that to look like 3 days a week or 15 hours a week or 10 hours a week. Just write that down. That helps your brain be clear so that you're not telling yourself that you're not doing enough because you've already in writing made a commitment to yourself that being consistent in your business means working 3 days a week. And you can refer back to that when your brain tries to tell you you should be doing more. No, consistent or committed looks like this to me. And you can apply that to health goals, to self-care, to exercise. What does it look like to you? List those concrete examples. And you can change those as you test them out, obviously, but we want to start somewhere. And this is how I overcome the what do I call it? Like the messaging out there from the world that I've got to be intense and go all in January and start strong. And then life throws me a curveball. So, how do I problem solve for that? Well, for me, it's choosing my language, defining those words, and being realistic with what those examples are like for me in my life. And so, I would invite you to do the same. What is going to help you be intentional with your next steps? What words can you lean into, like committed or intentional or grounded, can help you feel grounded so that you don't have to rely on high intensity and high levels of energy and motivation in order to still move forward? It allows for flexibility. It allows for unexpected things in life to happen and for you to not feel like you have to stop or be stuck or put everything on hold. Maybe for a little bit, but you know how to come back to yourself, to your goals, to your commitments, and to your plans. All right. I would love, love, love if you watch, for you to share a takeaway. What's one thing that you are taking from this video, from what I shared here? And this is based on what I see happening with clients. I'm here to support you. I encourage you to decide what takeaway is serving you or what your next step might look like based on what you heard here. And if you have questions or need anything, just post that as well. I'm here for you. I'm cheering you on. You have support, so use it. If you're feeling stuck, use it. Comment here. I'm here for you, okay? Wishing you a great rest of your week. This was your mindful momentum moment, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.